Hello, hello. Welcome to Piano today. I'm so excited to go over our amazing songs that we learned at last lesson and assign you a new song today that is probably very familiar. So, before we get started, if you don't mind liking and sharing this video, actually, no, this is a patron only video. Let's say like and comment on this one so that you can let me know how I'm doing and if things are going really well in your piano practice, okay? Next, if you don't mind subscribing, right? So a lot of you have already done this, and thank you so much. But if you haven't subscribed, this is the best and easiest way for you to remember the piano lessons coming up for you. And if you need to go back and look at some other ones that you may have missed. So go ahead and subscribe. Next, to really get that full patron experience, join our Discord server, right? So if you're looking for feedback on your piano learning, make sure that you're on Discord so you can post videos of yourself playing your piano pieces and I'll give you some feedback. So that way you can learn alongside the help of my expertise in piano teaching. So I'd love to see you there. The link to join Discord is in the description of this video. And finally, of course, we know this is a patron-only video. These videos and lessons would not be possible without your financial support. So I'm so grateful for that commitment that you've made to me every single month. And I can't wait to keep bringing you more and more piano lessons so we can keep learning and growing together. Okay? All right, well, let's get started. So go ahead and pull out your lesson book, okay? We're going to turn to page 13, and we're going to review 18th century dance, okay? Now, you remember, this is the one that's got all of those octave jumps in it with all the different articulation and the inclusion of all those sixths. So let's go ahead and go over it together, okay? All right. I loved some of those videos that you've been sending in. They are sounding great. So we're going to find ourselves in G position. We have our left hand pinky finger 5 on our G below middle C. Our right hand is going to be on the G above middle C. Now remember, because we have so many octave jumps in this, we are going to pay close attention to those repeats. And a lot of times it says second time both hands octave higher. So make sure that you're moving those hands, okay? Here we go. 18th century dance on page 13 in your lesson book. And there it is, 18th century dance. Bravo to you! You did so well on that one. Now, I find that the trickiest part of this piece is definitely transition time between those octave jumps. If we're not keeping the same steady beat throughout, even with those jumps, we can lose our audience. So make sure you're picking a tempo at the beginning that you can keep through all of those transitions, okay? I'm so proud of you. That's a tricky song. All right, well, let's turn the page to page 14. You're going to see a very familiar tune at the bottom called London Bridge. That's going to be the piece we're learning today, okay? Now, before we jump into our piece, we want to talk a little bit about how when we play sixths at the piano, whether melodic, one note at a time, or harmonic, notes at the same time, some of our fingers are going to be doing double duty, Okay, so when we're in the position that we're playing in, some fingers, like our finger 5 pinky or our finger 1 thumb, may be in charge of playing 2 different notes. So it's important for us to really, really pay close attention to those notes, whether it's on a line or a space, okay? That has a difference on the type of interval we will be playing, either a 5th or a 6th in this case, okay? So don't rely just on the finger numbers to assume if it's a 5th, if you see 1 and 5. It may not be. It depends on where that note is on the staff, okay? Here's a good example. At the top of page 14, I see a piano map at the top, okay? Now I see, for the left hand, I see when we're in C position, finger 5 on B. But I also see finger 5 on C. Then a finger 4 on D, 3 on E, 2 on F, and a 1 on G. So that's already telling me my pinky finger 5 in my left hand is going to be doing double duty, okay? I'm going to switch to piano view so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so specifically that piano map at the top of 14, we're talking about C position in the bass clef, okay? So down here, this is what we typically do. We have our pinky finger 5 on C, and we fan out the rest of our fingers. But notice that piano map has us also using our pinky finger 5 on B. And then a double duty on C. Then we fan out the rest. So don't let that alarm you. If we've got a finger 5 pinky written in our music, just pay close attention to see if it's going to be a 5th or a 6th. Okay? We also have the same thing happening in our right hand. Our double duty finger this time is going to be our finger 1 thumb. When we put our thumb in C position and we fan out the rest of those fingers, we notice here that the piano map says finger 1 on C, but also we're going to have a finger 1 on D. So that's going to shift the rest of our fingers up. So finger 1 on C, middle C, and a finger 1 on D as well. 2 on E, 3 on F, 4 on G, and 5 on A. This is what it sounds like. 1 on C, 1 on D, 2 on E, 3 on F, 4 on G, and 5 on A. Okay? It's interesting how they do that, right? So the reason why they're training us to use our fingers to play more than one note is because we don't have 88 fingers. That would be so funny. All these fingers and all these keys, right? And then you would see in your music it'd have like finger 73. Well, no, we don't have 73 or 88 fingers. So we have to get used to moving our fingers and moving our hands all across the keyboard. By introducing notes 1 or 2 at a time, double duty, that helps us understand that we have a lot of notes to learn how to play, and our fingers can definitely do it if we learn it the right way, okay? It's quite fun. So we have some intervals to practice, okay? On page 14, there's a section here under the piano map that says right hand intervals from A down to C. Let's play that line for the right hand, and we'll repeat it 2 times, okay? This is a practice line, so play it with me, okay? All right. Practice line, we are going to have, just like we said before, double duty for our finger 1 thumb on middle C and D. Our 5 and 4 are up here on A and G. So we're going to begin with that interval. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Second, down to third. Notice we still have A on the top. Fourth, fifth. Now stretch down that thumb for double duty. 6, 2, 3, repeat. Second, 2, 3, 4, and third. 2, 3, 4, and fourth. 2, 3, 4, fifth. 2, 3, 4, down to 6th. 2, 3, 4. Very good. Yeah, it sounds quite cool the way we approach this, right? With the A on top, it gives it a different type of sound. Now let's see if we can do something similar for the left hand practice line, okay? Now this one, we're also going to be in that C position, but remember, the pinky finger 5 is the one doing double duty down below on the B and the C. So I'll switch to piano view and let's play this practice line twice, okay? You got this. All right, looking here, I'm in C position, right? You see my hand down here. Pinky finger 5 is doing the double duty this time. So we're going to begin with the interval of a second on F and G. 1, 2, ready, play. G and F, 2, 3, 4, and a third. 2, 3, 4. Now a fourth. 2, 3, 4, and fifth. 2, 3, 4, and sixth. 2, repeat now. Second, 2, 3, 4, and third. 2, 3, 4. Fourth, 2, 3, 4, and fifth. 2, 3, 4. Now double duty pinky 6. 2, 3, and 4. Very nice. Yeah, that's definitely opening us up for some very successful intervals in our song, London Bridge, okay? Now, let's take a look at London Bridge in particular. What are some of the things that you notice? Do you see the tempo marking? What does it say for tempo? Allegro. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty fast, right? Now, our time signature. What is the time signature? 4/4 time. Excellent work. What about the dynamic sign? What do you see? First time forte, second time piano. So look, there is a repeat sign in this piece. And what does it say about that second time through? What's going to happen to the right hand? The right hand is going to play an octave higher on the second time through. So good job for noticing all those things. Now let's see if we can learn to play this piece very slowly, super snail slow, okay? I'm going to do it hands together because I noticed the left hand has only 2 intervals that we're playing this whole time. We're going to be playing a harmonic fifth, which you know in C position is C and G. And then occasionally we play a harmonic sixth. That's when our pinky does that double duty and goes down 1 step to our B. Okay? All right, let's give it a try together. Piano view, here we are. All right, so C position, we're starting here with our left hand on our thumb on G below middle C. Our right hand, remember, our thumb is doing double duty on C and D. So our finger 2 will be on E all the way up to a pinky on A, okay? That sets us up for our very first finger for the right hand on G, finger 4, and our harmonic fifth in the left hand, okay? I see that dotted quarter note rhythm, so let's see if we can play it very slowly, okay? I'm going to say right hand note names as we play. 1, 2, ready, play. G, A, G, F, E, F, G, D, E, F, E, F, G, G, A, G, F, E, F, G, D, G, E, C. Very nice. And then it repeats, okay? Now on the second time through, I'm going to say now the interval names in the left hand, okay? So I'm going to put my hands back in position, finger 4 on my G for the right hand, and then my fifth in my left hand, okay? Now this time through, remember, I'm going to be talking about the intervals in the left hand. I want you to notice where it does double duty for that pinky, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. fifth, tied fifth. Now we go double duty, sixth in the left. Back to the fifth in the left hand. Good, fifth again. Tied note, hold it. Now the left hand sixth, there goes our pinky. Very good. Back to the fifth now. Excellent work on that, okay? Now, something to keep in mind as you're learning this piece. If you find that it's a little tricky, you are more than welcome to learn it hands apart, okay? Give yourself that time to really internalize the rhythm in the right hand. Dotted, quarter, eighth, quarter, 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 half note, right? That's totally fine. You want to make sure that you get those dotted quarter notes and eighth notes and quarter notes all the right way, okay? Because it really matters when we're doing the math to make sure it adds up to 4 beats every measure, okay? If you happen to hold a note too long or play a note too quickly, the math doesn't work anymore. So we got to make sure it's exactly the way it's written, okay? Now, in the left hand, you notice we have a fifth tied note. So if you remember tied notes, we are adding together the value of each of those chords. So we have a whole note in the first measure and a whole note in the second measure. So if we have a whole note plus a whole note, how many beats total do we have? 8 beats, yes. You're like, come on, Miss Izzy, I know that already. Let's go ahead and try to play this a little bit faster now, okay? And I will do the repeat, and let's try to do that repeat an octave higher, just like it's written, okay? All right, you can do this. Here we go. All right, I've got my left hand in C position, and I've got double duty for my pinky. My right hand is going to be double duty for my finger 1 on C and D, and I am in position ready to go. Remember, my count off this time is going to be a little quicker, so don't be alarmed. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Up the octave. Good. Excellent job. All right, so one thing I did want to talk about. In that final measure, there's a little blue box with 2 little blue arrows, okay? They're pointing to some notes in the right hand. So when you're playing notes, those notes in the right hand, your finger 2 is already going to be on your E, okay? Let me show you what it looks like. There's your finger 2 on E. But because, remember, our thumb is doing double duty, we're actually going to skip that D and put our thumb on C. So it's like, bum, bum, right? Okay, so don't let that surprise you, okay? You can do that little skip right there, okay? So that's your London Bridge. I think you're gonna do really well on this piece. I can't wait to see what your videos sound like on Discord when you're finished learning this one. I can't wait to hear it, okay? Now go ahead and close your lesson book. Let's move over to our technique book, okay? Pull out your technique book. We're gonna go to group 4, and group 4 is on page 8. We're gonna get exercises A and B for this week, okay? A and B both are going over that, oops. Of course I dropped my pencil, silly me. I got it. All right, so group 4 is talking about all of those double duty sixths that we're going to be doing for our pinky finger 5 and our finger 1 thumb in the right hand, okay? So our first exercise is called My Fair Lady, and our second one is called Rickety Bridge, okay? You can see they're kind of related to London Bridge. So let me play through these 2 exercises for you with repeats, and you can follow along in your music. Remember, technique is about building your finger muscles and making it easier to read a lot of those things we're learning in our lesson book, okay? So technique is just as important. All right, let's do it. All right, so My Fair Lady, we are starting with the same piano mat positions, okay? We are here in C position in the left hand and in the right hand, but remember, I've got my pinky finger 5 on my A in the right hand, okay? This is going to be in with the right hand on finger 1, D. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Nice job. Yeah, so My Fair Lady, that's the first exercise you've got in your technique book for this week. Did you catch that dotted quarter note rhythm on line 2? Yeah, it's really important to remember that because that's what's making it sound different than the first line. You notice it's all quarter notes in the first 2 measures of line 1. But in line 2, that dotted quarter note is the only difference. So make sure you play it like that, okay? All right, our B exercise is Rickety Bridge. Now this one's quite fun because we've got a consistent left hand going between 5ths and 6ths, okay? Now it's quite interesting how it operates here. It sounds like it's very heavy in the left hand, and that's normal, okay? It does have a repeat sign. It does have the right hand playing an octave higher the second time through, okay? So listen carefully and follow along. You got this, okay? Yes! Here we go. Rickety Bridge, C position, finger 4 on G in the right hand. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. There's Rickety Bridge. Very good. A lot of little melodic elements in there that sound similar to London Bridge. So that's why I wanted to give these 2 exercises to you for this week, okay? You think you can practice those too? Oh yes, I know you can. Very nice. Go ahead and close your technique book. All right, and theory, guess what? No theory homework this week, so yay! You lucked out this week, but I promise next week you're going to get some. All right, very good. Well, we had a great lesson today. I'm so happy we were able to get together today. Thank you so much again for being a patron and supporting my YouTube channel here. And it just helps keep these lessons coming. I really, really enjoy doing them, and I can't do it without you. So Thanks so much. Now let's close our lesson today with our music quote, okay? Let's see what I wrote today. So today's music quote comes from the French writer and Buddhist monk, Matthew Ricard. And this is what he says. It is in learning music that many youthful hearts learn to love. That's so nice, isn't it? Yeah, learning music really takes dedication, but it also takes an element of love, right? Because when you make music, a lot of times we're not doing it for any sort of gain of any sort. We do it because we just love it, and we love sharing it with others. So I really, really like what Mr. Ricard says today. So I hope you enjoyed our quote. Thanks so much for joining us for piano today. Get some good practice in, okay, friends? And I'll see you on Patreon, I'll see you on YouTube, and I'll see you on Discord, okay? Take care, my friends. See you later. Bye-bye.